Hello, hello. Welcome to first stream of 2021. Tonight we are going to be, or I am going to be painting this. Oh, clicked on the wrong one. Hello again. All right. So, I am going to be painting this lovely lady Bugbear mage. Boo da boo boo boo. It's funny how much whitewashed she gets. And honestly, any of the minis get when I start. And hopefully you'll be able to see more of the details. She's got some fire magic or flame magic going on. Wearing some tattered robes and a cloak. A fun little top knot on top. I've already gone ahead and glued her base down. And you know what? Let's get some music going too for you folks. That's pretty loud. Shoop. Also on my end. There we go. All right. And make sure we can see that. There we go. Good old Harris Heller, who just released or announced this last week that he will be going full time. So congrats to him. He's been working pretty hard on that and getting his own studio going and everything. All right, without further ado, let's get down to painting. Just check on some things real quick. Yes, it is. Yep, have done no painting thus far in the last 3 days. I've mostly painted, or not painted. I've mostly played Destiny 2, if I'm being honest. Not sure if you play Destiny at all, but I've kind of gotten back into that game recently, and I mostly played Hunter, never branched out into any of the other classes, and I tried out Warlock, so I've been leveling up that Warlock and been having a blast. That's kind of a pun, in a way. Alright, getting my browns out. Oh. I have this I have this color titled, let's see if I can do this right, Bugman's Glow. How can I not use this? How can I not use this on this one? What can I use this for? I'm referring to the back. For a lot of these kind of generic minis, I like to... Ooh, no thank you, Harris. This is a little bit too... Let's see. It's not Christmas anymore. Let's do this one. Let's go back to my normal kind of chill lo-fi. Anyway, I don't get too crazy with the colors on these generic models, just because being a newish DM and, you know, working on my bestiary, as you will, I kind of want just to match whatever is in the monster manual. There are some exceptions to that if I'm just not feeling it, obviously, but for the most part I've been sticking to what the back of these cardboard holders say. That's bronze. I don't really want the bronze. It's not a good face color. What did I grab that was kind of the color? It says Evil Flesh. Their flesh is like this weird rotten egg brown tint to it. So I'm trying to figure out what to match with that. Oh man. That's a lot. That's 11 players. So that is that like a mini for every, excuse me, I don't know what Blood Bowl is. That like Warhammer? Question mark? Ooh, I like this burgundy. Maybe this burgundy will be the base for the outfit. Warhammer football. Wow. I did not know that it even existed. Futuristic sports, I guess. Well, this kind of looks like the skin tone. I could play around with that. All right, starting with the burgundy. Nice. And is Blood Bowl, is that the type of team? Or is that like the league? Oh. You know, I haven't done too much in the way of any of the Warhammers, any types. I've heard basically from other players that it's kind of like getting into, like, investing in another hobby, essentially, even though it's a role-playing game, because, you know, different sets, it costs a lot of money, essentially. It is kind of interesting, though, if you think about, like, the history of D&D and the reason why it came about, because it came from people only basically playing war games because that's all that existed. And there wasn't any system for a person to be like, you know what, I don't want to be a legion. I want to be a knight or a captain or a warlock. And so D&D was created. And then Warhammer, from, again, basic understanding, is like kind of doing a reversal where it's like, okay, we're not doing a complete army, but you have like a squadron. So if like War Games is where you start, D&D is 2 steps ahead, and Warhammer is like a step back. That's how at least I view it. Correct me if I'm wrong. Totally, please. And I also chose this mini tonight because, you know, like I said, first mini of 2021, getting back into it. Wanted to do something easy, and just kind of looking at minis, you can tell if it is going to be like a fast or slow, and this one seems like it's going to be a pretty fast one to do. Basic space to cover, not a whole lot of in the way of detail, or that you need in detail, excuse me. Oh, Zeev333, thanks for the follow, man. What person? Folk, friendly, lovely. Insert your preferred pronoun. Gotcha. Yeah, it's definitely overwhelming walking into a gaming store that's more of a board game store, and you just see all these massive tables and people already playing and moving, and oh, don't go. They're little squadrons. I think if I were to get into anything Warhammer, honestly, I would want to do what's it called? Something that would basically be like the flavor of Star Wars, because that's more my jam. I'm not really into like the space Warhammer ones that look like they're from Halo, essentially. Like, that's not really, I'm completely blanking on what their units are actually called. Not my flavor. But also, personally, I like looking to the past. Hence why I found myself playing D&D. Or swinging swords in real life. Also, not sure if you're still here, Zeef, but with your follow, I'm officially halfway to my 50 followers goal. So thank you. When I reach 50 followers, I will be doing a Hero Forge raffle. And one of my followers will get a mini painted on stream. I will work with them if they wish. On the type of mini they want painted, colors, etc., etc. So, and until I don't know, and I'll pretty much be going like every 50 from then on until I do not see myself like massively gaining a lot of followers in mass, so I'll probably go every 50. If I do, I'll reevaluate it, but I do want to have like stretch goals for my followers and maybe someday subscribers. So thank you. I hope you both are having a lovely Sunday. Personally, it's my last night before I go back to my job, my real job. So it is kind of sad. I won't probably be staying up too late painting this. But again, that's why I also chose an easy mini to do. I actually just got done playing RuneQuest. Not sure if either of you are familiar with RuneQuest, but I have a friend of mine who was actually a cartographer for RuneQuest. It came out around the same time that D&D did, and it's a percentile based game. And rather than having like the whole character creation, like session 0, you actually have kind of a backstory session 0, where you're rolling a bunch of D100s to establish like who are your enemies, where are you from. Oh, my video is freaking out. My apologies. Why are you doing that? Let's deactivate you and activate. That was weird. Anyway, and so you have all of these skills that you have like at various points on a D100 scale. So you basically, there's no levels in this game. You play, and then if you get specials, you can like essentially check a box. So say, in this game, a perception check is a scan check, and if I crit on it, oh, that's right. Doug, you weren't there. Sorry, I actually thought you were my friend Dave. I need to get better about remembering who's who. It was a lot of fun today, Doug. Yeah, and we actually just we had a pretty good session. It was like 4.5 hours today. Anyway, going back to the crit. So if you get the crit, you get to roll a D100 and you have to roll above a certain thing. And then if you make it, you get to increase that skill by a D6. And that's how you play. So like you just play sessions, and no matter what, at the end of whatever X adventure that your GM is doing, you always get at least 3. If you don't crit on anything, you still get to increase stuff. But what the crits do is they provide like an extra on top of the 3 that you'll get a chance to increase. You can automatically increase that skill too, or have a chance to. So it's a lot of fun. And today's session, we essentially got to represent a queen at this like festival of the griffins like returning home to this one plateau. And we were told, you know, hey, when you get to the city, there's going to be a dance, a dance contest, a wrestling contest, and like a meditation contest. And then the last day is the race to the plateau to tame a griffin. And then the first one to tame a griffin and ride it down from the plateau, like wins. And so we are there representing this queen that we've been kind of doing a bunch of different quests for. And I won the dance contest. It was a lot of fun. And then I got like this, there's weird things that I'm like, it's kind of weird, but I'll go with it. Where in winning, I got blessed, but I also got like a priestess who was like assigned to me for the night, and like we just hung out and talked, and then we faded to black. And I, as a player, I have never faded to black before, so I got to tell my GM that, and I've been playing role-playing games for 4.5 years now, mostly GMing. So that was a lot of fun. And then from there, the next day we did the wrestling match, and I completely failed that, but my other party mates did okay. And then we did okay on the meditation, and then we were off to the races. We got ambushed, dealt with the ambush, and we couldn't have our armor on the way up. And even last session, my character, the way that this whole thing, this game handles it, is like you get hit and you have like HP on your armor. And if you get hit and you're not unable to dodge, and the damage is greater than your armor, then it starts eating into your actual health. And God, like last game, I severed lots of limbs because I kept just getting slaughtered and like basically kind of being a tank for the team. But in this festival, we're not allowed to have our armor with us. So we're doing this mad dash without our armor, but we got to bring our weapons. And we ended the night, like I was scaling this cliff, and there's basically these creatures that are flying around angry at us, not the griffins. And I was able to take out like 3 of them with a lightning spell. It's very similar to lightning bolt in D&D. But then I got hit so hard that I got knocked unconscious with a headshot by a rock. So, and because I wanted to stream tonight, we had already been going for like 4.5 hours. We paused with, fortunately, my wife, her character pulled me into a cave, and we're kind of holing up in there. And we'll see if I survive. All I can say is at least I got laid. At least I got laid. If my character dies, she did not die a virgin. Because that was for sure the first time she slept with anyone. So. Oh. Yeah, Dugnoth is just continually, which I'm very sad Dugnoth was not even there, because there was a lot of drinking that took place at this festival. Like, they had a wine vendor and everything. So, it was a lot of fun. I'm excited. This game happens like once a month. Just making sure my webcam... It started kind of going on the fritz the last time I was painting. just randomly freezing up. So I don't know. It's one of the cheaper webcams. It's like I want to say like a $50 or $60 webcam. So like I'm not surprised, but also kind of bummed because I haven't had it for that long, like barely 6 months, and it's doing this. So it's kind of a bummer. All right. How often do you get to play the fantasy Warhammer, Doug? That must be your next project because you just got done with your Griffins. And also so sad that you couldn't be there tonight. Maybe you can be there next session because hopefully there will be Griffins next session. I'm secretly hoping, like, if we tame the Griffin, one of our party mates can have a Griffin because I have Keena, my bison, which is also a really cool part of this story. And I didn't make Vasana. I guess I didn't say that in the beginning, but Vasana is one of the pre-generated characters for RuneQuest. And I've enjoyed her. Honestly, probably would have played a character similar to her. It just like, I didn't, I guess, expect us to continually play. So I was like, yeah, I'll just play, this pre-generated character. But I have gotten to know her quite well. My wife is playing this character, who she's named the public universal friend, who we endearingly call Puff, and they go by they them pronouns, and they've been a lot of fun in this world. Oh, nice. I take it you got minis for Christmas then, or Yule. Oh, fun fact. I got to run a Yule one shot that I created. I'm wearing a Critical Role shirt, big fan, and I reached out to some folks on the Seattle Critter Discord to be like, hey, if anyone is interested in participating a Yule one shot, like, let me know. And I had 7 people be like, yes, 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 yes. So that was a heck of a lot of fun. 7 players took place. Oh, you did? Yay. Okay, wait. So now I have even more money. Oh, horses and men with pistols. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. That's exciting. Yeah. So I don't know if, let's see, is it right here? No, that's my Eberron book. Hold, please. So one of the books that I got for Christmas is the Icewind Dale. So I don't know if you've personally dealt with the northern area of the Sword Coast. That's where Icewind Dale lies. And that's like where you're gonna get more of your Norse themed, I'm suggesting my leg, content. And there's some pretty freaking cool areas, and like one of my other campaigns is just naturally up there because they are Norse characters. One of them is essentially playing, or actually 2 of them. One of them is playing Thor, and one of them is playing Odin. So, and then actually I have another player who's playing Scotty. So we're doing this whole like Ragnarok themed D&D in the Sword Coast and the Icewind Dale. So like this is a campaign setting book. Yeah, there's like an actual campaign in it, but there's also like so much just content for about the Icewind Dales because they haven't really done that for D&D 5e yet. I think it is more red. Let's do kind of a faded color for Needs to be shook more. So yeah, so during the one shot, I actually had the group be one from one of the 10 towns that are up there. And I got to play around with some of the creatures that are in that book. So it was a lot of fun. I called the one shot Mother's Night, I think is what I called it. Wait, no. What did I call it? The Longest Night, a Yule Tale. And I'm very excited because some of the players were like, oh my god, can we play again? And I told them realistically, you know, I do have other campaigns that I'm running right now, but if the stars align and our schedules align, yeah, I'd totally be down. All right. I'm a little concerned about this red. I'm shaking it for a while and it's not looking the best. It's an older red. This might be one of the oldest colors that I have. So let's see how this goes. It's very bright. It's almost orange. That's okay. This one, no. I honestly, I think I got this box set when there was a while there that I just kind of went out and spent some money randomly on minis, and I snagged this one because it was your atypical Bugbear set. And actually, where did the other one go? Here's another. This is the second Bugbear that came with it. So kind of more your typical Bugbear, but it's atypical in that, like, he's wearing this, like, or he's holding this butcher knife, essentially, versus just, like, your regular broadsword or greatsword. Kind of looks like a were Bugbear. A little bit more grotesque. So I thought it would be good to snag because, you know, that way your players aren't always just fighting melee bugbears. I miss playing in person. I've been feeling those feelings a lot. I think that's my one regret for 2020 was I got, just really like a lot of people just depressed about not playing D&D in person, that I just didn't paint too much. Because what's the point if you're not going to play in person, But the vaccines are coming out. My sister actually just got vaccinated last week because she's a nurse. And hopefully that means, frontline responders, nurses, and also like teachers will get vaccinated soon. My mom's a teacher. I have a niece and nephew in school. Maybe they'll get vaccinated soon. Hello, hello. What did I say? actually quite pleased with this color that I chose for the Bugbear skin. It's like this Zandori dust, or dust color. So it's like this yellowish brown, I guess would be the tint. I'm trying to get better about color composition. And then I'm going to do the hair in a darker brown. Yeah, I feel good about this. Keep bonking my head on the mic, so I'm going to try and fix this real quick. How's that? There we go. Alright. A little better, a little better. Well, it seems better. Let me know if you can't hear me. The mic is a little bit higher up now. Fix that real quick. Just little touch-ups, and then do the hair. Look at that top knot looking Bugbear mage. Okay. My favorite mini I've done. Let's see if she's within range. Let me see if I can find her real quick. Oh, honestly, no. I know what my favorite mini done this far. Hands down, this beholder that I did. Actually, it'd probably be better if I did this guy. They're one of my favorite monsters. I felt really good about the color choices I did. I really like the color transitions on the eye stalks that I did. If you can see from like the purple to this like cerulean blue to this like seafoamish kind of green blue, and I really like the gold. And also, I just had a lot of fun with it. And the effects that I did of like the blood around its little horns, and then like the little details I did. I don't know what you would call those. They're not teeth. But this guy. Haven't been able to use him yet, unfortunately. Actually, no, I did. I did get to use him in my Tomb of Annihilation campaign. My Monday group went through that campaign. I take it back. I got to use him, and I got to wreck the players up on that. The map on that one is also a lot of fun because it's supposed to be basically a mirror on the floor. unfortunately, I didn't get to, or as a DM, I decided not to use all the effects of the floor because there's a lot of like slipping and sliding challenges that they have to go through if they move. But just with the way the Beholder was challenge rated, and because life, and this is like a campaign where it's every Monday, I won't run it if more than 2 players are gone. But we always had like 1 player down, and it was always a different player down throughout this battle that took place over 2 weeks. So I just didn't go full blown because I'm more of the storyteller DM rather than the Annihilator, even though I know what they were playing was 2 of Annihilation. But that one was a lot of fun. Beholders in general are a lot of fun. And actually, recently in another group, I got to use a zombie beholder, and I modded it a little bit against the group. I had it to where like the zombie beholder in its lair could summon, because it can summon regular zombies, but I had this beholder summon burst zombies, which are like bloated, and then they run and they explode and they cause AoE damage, and that was a lot of fun. That was kind of my answer to just making that group a little bit more challenging, because they were level, gosh, 12 at that point during that fight, and zombie beholders, they could have handled it quite easily. They had a cleric with the group, so I needed to up the stakes versus like the one that I was just talking about. The group, I think at that point, excuse me, at that point was like level 7 or 8, something like that. What about you, Doug? What's your favorite? Let me guess. The Griffins! Because they're my favorite, at least the ones of the scene that I've seen that you've painted. Also the fact that you can, one, they're Griffins, because, I mean, come the fuck on, but also the fact that you can put horse riders. Oh, really? Your horse general. Is that a recent one? My goal this year is to paint a dragon. Just one. I have a few. I don't have like an adult dragon. But I have a few young dragons, and I would be very pleased with myself if I just painted one, because they are kind of intimidating. When you get down to it. My goal this year too is to have like a better storage system for my minis. Like I have a pretty good one, but at this point my collection is so big. And also cats. Like, for example, my kitten, she's still a kitten to me, even though she's verging on like 8 months or something like that, years old. Can jump on top of my bookshelf that is, let's see, right there on top of it. And then the other day, I look over and she's not on top of the shelf. She's inside the cubby of the first one, and which is where, you know, basically how I've organized it is like things I need to paint, things that I've painted, and it's like all different, and then like it's by size. So the smallest minis are on the bottomest shelf, and then it goes larger, gargantuan, obviously. So all my good ones are on top of my shelf. I was just like, what are you doing, Ripley? I wish I could share photos with, actually, you know what, I can. Let's see. I can do that. I can do the thing. Let's see if I can do this real quick. Oh yeah, this boy. The feathers on this one is really great. Let's see if I have one up. Aha! It's so big. Hold on. Let me adjust this. Hit it. You're about to see OBS magic. There we go. So this is what Doug is talking about. This guy right here. That's pretty cool. You did great, Doug. I love the armor on these horses. So good. And there's the general himself. Alright. Swoop. Back to painting. I love his mustache. His mustache is probably one of my favorite features. Like the mustache and the hat just kind of make that mini for me. And he kind of looks like a medieval Sean Connery. I must ask you a question. I'll just be over here painting my mini. Tight places. It's funny, I wonder. Yeah, this bugbear is barefoot. This is the first bugbear that I've seen that is wearing shoes, and I don't know if it's because, like, the intelligence is probably higher because it's a spell or it's an arcane caster. That's what I would imagine. So it's like, the higher the intelligence, the more fancy clothes, aka non-barefoot I am. So fancy, madame, so fancy. Oh, it did it again. Why, camera? All right. I 100% agree, Doug. I would love to. That sounds like a really fun activity that sounds like a fun activity to do together. There's not many painters out there. I've actually been asked if I was a quote unquote artist or if I drew before this, and no. Very, very basic. I just kind of was like, you know what, I think this would be fun and I think I would find it relaxing, and I do, and I just kind of, you know, picked up a brush, said why the heck not. I found it as a way to up my games for immersion, and really honestly just did not care. I mean, I hoped, but I think ultimately I didn't care what my friends thought of my painting skills, because I was like, I want to do it. It sounds fun. I want to have these things on the board. My next step is to start painting all my terrain pieces. So that'll take a hot minute to do so. In preparation for like the first hopeful in-person session of 2020. It will be a really weird, hopefully a milestone that I never reach, but like if people start reaching the point in their year, and it's gonna come around March or end of February, where it's like officially been a year since people have played D&D in person. That's gonna be a really sad milestone, and I hope we never get there. Every Monday night I used to play at the convention center with friends. That's where we would all meet up, because we all live in the Seattle area, and there's a lot of bus lines that are just right there for people to hop on. Alright. Hey baby. Was it bath time? Kinda looked like it. Oh, you're so sleepy. All right. Touching up the feet. Just a tidbit. right. End of that song, and we got the bass players on. Bass layer. Oh no! It doesn't like it when I come up close to it. That's funny. Whoa. Look at that. It doesn't. Interesting. Why don't you like up close? I'm gonna try that again. Does it not like it when I come up close to it? Huh. Okay. Feel pretty good about that. All right. I have... So you want to use, obviously, like a very watered down color. And I have this... Let's see. I'm probably going to water this down even more. But it's a shader, and I'm actually going to use this on... I'm going to use this over here and all over this. And I'm about to put yellow as a dry brush on the cloak to bring out the edges. Just kind of playing with the colors. It'll give a different feel to it, but you can see in here they went with it almost looked like like an orangey color, and I kind of went with a deeper burgundy, just trying to lighten it up. And also, honestly, I'm just experimenting. But yeah, for the staff, I'm going to use this, water it down. We'll see if I get to it tonight. I'll probably end around 11. I might just get to like some of the details. I won't get to the face. I'll dry brush the cloak, and I'll dry brush the staff. Just lots of experimenting, and honestly, with these like enemy peeps, perfect thing to do to experiment with or on. And everyone does it different, but I like to dry brush before I wet brush, because I feel like the wet brush really brings out what you've tried to highlight with the dry brush. Doug's on.
Doug is with you?
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Doug.
Kel says hi.
We missed you today. I'm excited for the next time you can join us.
He says Doug Noth was off drinking somewhere.
Just chilling, partying.
Just chilling, being
Good.
Doug Noth.
Good.
Look at the mage.
It looks great. It's a Furbolg?
No, it's a Bugbear.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I got this a while back, and Doug was asking, like, oh, is this for a player? And I'm like, no, I feel like it's very, I would say, typical for people to go out and just mass buy, like, Bugbears or Kobolds or et cetera, and they're just all melee. And so when I saw... You don't get a cool...
Yeah.
So I'm like, ooh, I have a caster that I can throw into the group that is, like, you know what I mean? Just mix up the classes.
Yeah, it's just fun and different.
Yeah. And who knows? Maybe I'll play Bugbear Grandma someday. Because that would be fun.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, have fun, you kids.
Thanks, babe. Love you.
I love you too.
Has Sarah painted anymore, your wife, Doug? Like, I remember we talked about her briefly and you, like, shared some stuff and I was like, holy shit. I was very impressed by her, like, first pass at painting. Aww. See, here's some word of advice. If you have, like, I don't know, if you get like an 8-pack of of kobolds or goblins and just be like, hey, I need to get through these. Can you help me paint? Like, even if you just take one, I'll just have to do the rest of the 7 or whatever. Sneak her into it and she'll get a little bit more experience. All right. Let's do some wet brushing and see how this goes. Yes, Ripley? I hear you. All right. Ooh. I like what it did to the cape, not so much biggest fan what it's doing to her. Let's see if it'll change my mind. I like the cape. I might have to redo the front because I'm not the biggest fan, but I think I'll probably sleep on it and see how I feel about it. And I'm not going to make any decisions about the other details. I'm going to let that dry. I will come back to it probably later sometime this week. But I think I'm going to call it for tonight. I'm trying to be good about going to bed at a reasonable hour. So I hope you all have a lovely, wonderful rest of your Sunday night. Remember to hydrate. Remember to try and get some sleep. If you work tomorrow. If not, enjoy your study break. I think some students... Actually, I think a lot of schools actually start tomorrow. So... But thank you for tuning in, and I will be here on Tuesday night. I will be getting back into BioShock 2. I think it'll be my second or my third. I think it's my third session with that. We'll see how much farther. I know 2 is a lot shorter than Infinity or Infinite, whatever the third one is called. But yeah, have a lovely evening, and I will see you all later. Bye!